So today I am going to try and get through all of this, but we're going to do from here down to here. This down here is all flannel and a couple of knit patterns. The top is all solids, and basically it's not something that I'm concerned about as far as inventory. It's just scraps. I do have bolts of stuff on the other side of my living room. So we're going to do the second shelf and third shelf. And then maybe if I go through it fast enough, I can show you all the flannels and stuff. But that's what we're going to do today. Hey everybody, Susan with Little Fur Fleece, and I'm back with part 2 of my inventory of fleece that I have. I am going to do what I did last time, list everything and the measurements and such. So let's get started. This is daisies on orange or coral, and not a lot. I'm going to try and keep the dialogue to a minimum for you guys today. There's a couple other small pieces as well. This is just a small piece from the Happy Ghosts that I have, but I also have, I think, about 2-3 yards on a bolt. Keep that in mind. These are unicorns and rainbows. This is a broken piece. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it looks like in the factory they just stitched it together right there. But I do believe I still have about 2 or 3 yards on a bolt as well. These are black and white bats on gray, and it is sideways. It is about a yard. I don't remember what this one's called, but it's rainbow colors. And there's about a yard and a half here, maybe 2. This used to be everybody's favorite, mine as well. This is Cotton Candy Sky, and I believe maybe 3 yards left of this. This is Flower Names. There's just a very small amount left of this. Whoops. It might make a sack. And this is our garden theme. It's got bunnies, greenhouse, cat. This is daisies on blue, and there are several yards of this. Well, I say several. I would say 3, maybe 4. I don't remember how much I bought initially, but almost all of it is left because that was a second purchase of that. This is very similar to the other flowers. Oh, this is the other flowers. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I have much more of the floral names. So as you can see here, there's probably 2 yards. And this is so cute. I've had this for so long, and I cannot believe that somebody didn't just snatch it up. But there's probably about 3 yards of the boba. And this is marble. I like this one for my Easter eggs. And I'll be right back. I'm going to get more. All right, and then this is the second level of the patterned fleece. And then the bottom row is going to be, like I said, flannels and knits. This at one point I think was called blue and yellow check. There's not a lot of this left. But like I said, I'll be putting the measurements in the description. And this was left over from a custom order. There's probably, yeah, there's a full yard of this. Oops, let's put it this way so you can see. guinea pigs on navy. That last one, I don't remember what it was called. If I find the order, I'll look it up. This is about 3 yards, I think. And then I think this was called Eclipse Smoke. Let me show you the fuzzy side. And as you can see, there's not a lot left. This is a leopard on cream. And this is maybe just under a yard, but it is the full width. These I think are called orchid butterflies. And probably a yard, but only half the width. Or maybe I said that backwards. Half a yard, half the width. And then this is butterflies and polka dots. I'd say half a yard, full width. These are my surfing dinosaurs. Now I think, I'm not positive, but I think I still have some left on a bolt as well. And we'll get to that as well throughout this process, not today. These are turtles. Not a lot of this left either. I can't remember. I think this is called Groovy Scene or Groovy Daisies or something like that. But it's a very large print. So if you were wanting something small like a tunnel, just know that only portions of this would show up. But it's adorable. Let me show it this way too. Oh, that's upside down. Oh, goodness. I love the mushrooms. It just reminds me of a VW bus. All right, I'll go get the flannels and knits. Okay, so we'll start off with the knit. Apparently I only had 2 in that area, and they're both Halloween. These can go on the Halloween houses or tunnel, whatever, but these are, I always show it to you upside down. I'm so sorry. These are orange pumpkins on white, and then these are the orange pumpkins on black. All right, so some of these are very limited because I use them to make other projects and only have a small amount left. But if you wanted a, what am I thinking of? Tunnel, a cup, some of this stuff can go on the outside. Now the cups and the tunnels have enclosed seams. So sometimes this will fray, and I try my best to either pinking shear it or something if it's in a cube or something that's going to have exposed seams so that it doesn't ravel anymore. But a little bit of this with the ladybugs and snails. Show it to you a little better. And then this is owl on branches. Not a lot left of this one. These are some s'mores on aqua. This I had just picked up before Joann's decided to announce their closing, and I'm glad I did because I absolutely love this. These are capybaras, and they are just the cutest. And then these, or this is specific to if you wanted me to make a watermelon. There's probably just enough to make one more. The red dot is what I use to make my strawberries. This is like a green tie-dye, and I had used it for a project that I had. And we have a small amount of the watermelon flannel. This was called stained glass. I haven't used it yet. So there's, I think, 2 yards here. And some Christmas trees. Butterflies and flowers on yellow. These are ladybugs on green. I just made a bed out of this for my apartment complex. And I think there's about 2 yards left. When I say I made a bed for my apartment complex, I mean they have a cat. I made a bed for her. So she enjoys it. She loves it. This I don't have very much of at all. I wish I had more because I absolutely love this. But it's the rainbow hearts. And then I have 2. Gosh, I can't remember how much I ordered. I think there might be 4 yards on this one. And I think maybe 3 on the other. And that is it for the dining room area shelving unit. The next one I think I'm going to do is just probably my Sherpas and some hodgepodge that I have sitting on top of the bins of the Sherpa. And after that, we'll go through this closet here. And then the final will be the bolts that I have in my living room / sewing area. So stay tuned for that. As always, thanks so much for watching. And if you have any comments, questions, please leave them in the link in the, you know where to put them. And then I will link in the description the measurements for everything that I showed you here today. So thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great day.